Welcome to this week's edition of The Passion of the Digital Artist. And here he is, that passionate tradigital artist himself, Jeff Mueller.
Woo!
With a subdued introduction on my part.
But it's not, I'm not going to be subdued.
We're just mellowed out because we have had, with our families, we've had a get-together tonight. It was kind of like the special occasion to celebrate nothing other than the friendship between the families. And we have had an awesome time, and we have ate and drank till it's coming out of our ears.
Wonderful, wonderful time. That's what it's about, right?
It was just an awesome time.
What we work hard for times like that. There's no doubt about it. We a while back, as Xavier knows, we purchased a grass-fed cow. One of my wife's clients does a short stock cattle here in Ohio, and it's completely 100% grass-fed. And we got on the waiting list for it. We purchased half of it. And one of the things that we had done is we had purchased. They ask you how you want it cut up, and but we wanted. I love brisket. I mean, it was one of the things being going on the paleo diet, where you're pretty much eliminating all grains, eating specific fruits and vegetables and meat, but eliminating carbohydrates and sugars, which I've been very successful at doing, and it's been very helpful. We purchased this. Well, when we purchased it, unbeknownst to us, that some of the meat seemed to be almost turned. But when I did some research, when a cow eats grass for its whole life instead of mixing and eventually turning to corn, there's a certain aspect of the meat that can be not as tasty as a corn-fed
kind of a
steer.
Gamey taste.
Yes, it's definitely gamey. Parts of it are really good, but it's mostly in the fat that you notice this almost, sometimes I would describe it as almost fishy. It's like you get this so I wasn't sure. Now,
to me, it's a gamey aftertaste, like venison that hasn't been prepared properly.
Well, yeah, and so what it comes down to is now the steaks, the high-end steaks, the fillets and whatever, no problem. It was more of the more exercise part of the cattle, the roasts and the roasts and the other parts of that where you notice it. But we had this brisket, this giant 10.5-pound brisket. I mean, the piece of meat was amazing. We had asked for it. So Xavier's son, Will Verna, is now the social media spotlight of the week. I'll do a little interview with him in a sec. But he prepared it for us. He is he went to culinary school in Pennsylvania and has worked around the country. He is now working at a sous chef at the
Brookside Country Club.
Yes, and wonderful. He's learning his craft. It's young. I've known him for a long time, and it's just so great to see his development and everything that he's gone through in his life, and just where it's culminating to. And so we had been talking about preparing this piece of beef for probably the last 6 months, and tonight he finally prepared it. Last night he came over. We had a great time. He did the prep. I watched him. We had a late night thing to Walmart, and today we was slow cooking in the oven the whole day, just making the house smell fantastic. And then Xavier and his wife and my family and my daughters and my son and son-in-law, everybody was there.
We had everybody here except Cassie, who's studying in New York.
Yep.
Attending New York University.
Yep, and your other son Nick came, and it was just a wonderful time. And it was just amazing how food and drink and friendship just pull people together. And it was just, there was nothing. The world's problems were at rest, and we were everything
was right in our world. That's for sure.
That's for sure. So thank you to Will, and that's kind of where we were at this week. That's what it's been about. There's been a lot of kind of changes that have been going on that I'm going to cover in the future. But we wanted to get this video blog in, talk about what's been happening, and just I'm working on my newest painting. I call it Crossroads, It's in the background. It's not even close to finished, but you can see there's some of the stuff is the elements are painted in. Some of the elements have been stripped in as far as photographically, still need to be painted. But I'm pretty much getting the composition. There's still a little bit something I'm going to do right into the foreground, and there's some stuff I might do over here. But overall, it's coming together, and that's kind of how you do it when you're painting. Now this painting is going to be a smaller painting. It's going to be on Dolly like to be about 9. A lot of his paintings 9 3/4 by 13 3/4, 8 by 12. You know, he wasn't a large format painter, so this painting is going to be actually 10 by 14 is what I went with. So it's going to be a smaller painting. It's something more that I haven't really worked with. It's surrealistic. I really felt that this particular picture that Patricia Saint Lands, it's just Patricia St. Lands. She, a very good friend on Facebook and Twitter, a world traveler, a very special person to me. It's just kind of I call it crossroads because she's part of the crossroads of my career. So as this goes along, we'll keep you updated. Because it's a little bit smaller, I should be able to get it finished. And then my 40 by 60 of State of Blue Illumination number 5 is in the printing process. Should be picked up Monday or Tuesday. So next week you'll be able to see that. I've signed Mushrooms to Heaven. That'll be being delivered to my father-in-law probably next weekend, so I don't know if we're going to be video blogging next week or whatever. It's always up in the air with my wife's job. Just never know what's going to happen. So, but that's where we're at. So another week. Some weeks you just have this transition process where it's a lot of good stuff happening and it puts you in a good place and you talk and doing a lot of. I like my daughter Samantha. I've taken her on as my assistant. So
congratulations, Sammy.
Coming up that she might be in a couple video blogs because she is working hard to do some of the behind the scenes things that I don't have time for right now. Setting up email lists, working on MailChimp. So as we go forward, the stuff that she's figuring out and developing for me, and stuff that I don't have time for during the day because I'm working a full-time job, she'll be doing that and then allowing me to paint more. So that's just something that's, that has transpired. So I'd like to congratulate her too because I really enjoy working with my daughter.
Yep, she's a great lady.
So there we go.
There we
Another
are.
week.
I want to thank Patricia St. Lan for being an ongoing force in Jeff's quest here, and also another person, Ingrid Geronimo,
yes,
for being also a terrific ongoing force in the counsel that you provide, Jeff. Thank you, Ingrid.
Thank you, Ingrid. That was I had a wonderful conversation with her tonight, and I really appreciate it.
Have a good week, folks.
Have a good week, folks.